Hey, sorry I keep posting a bunch of stuff, but I really just want to get it out there. Once again, Kim, I'm the person who went and wrote the president and started the news conspiracy, which they decided to focus on pedophiles. Yes, that's very true, but I had other issues. So I'm glad that started getting into the attention of everything because it's serious. But anyways, I have to say another thing with me is illegal guns. And I know they're out there and y'all want to take away legal guns, but illegal guns are still going to be there. And without the right to defend ourselves, it might get worse. And then, oh, we'll find all the illegal guns. Yeah, after people start shooting people. And then it's like, oh no, illegal guns? Well, use some common sense. Once we get rid of the legal guns, we're going to start having a lot of illegal guns on the market. And the thing is like, well, these people need to defend themselves, these criminals who have illegal guns. And some of them are even people who don't even commit crimes. So, it's really hard to catch them. And the reason that they have them is to protect themselves. They learn how to use them, whatever, hide them. And some of these people have associations or are afraid of break-ins and things like that they need to defend themselves. I support self-defense. I don't think you should have to go to jail for self-defense. But if you start framing people like you were defending yourself, then I have to say it's like this is something that is so unethical. Why are we so unethical? Where did our morals go? We want to be a more moral society? We need to have some, what do you call it, social evolution? Instead of relying on all these nasty things that we do, I mean, we're pretty evolved, right? No, we're still trying to reach higher with society. So social evolution is extremely important here as, we want to be a higher society. So what's stopping us? People being mean, people being crappy. And I mean, some people's psychology, they legitimately have issues. Like me, I have borderline personality disorder, and I'm kind of one of those very mild-mannered, possibly psychopathic people, sociopaths. Except I'm not out committing crimes. Well, maybe I am, but you wouldn't know. And even I wouldn't know. Oh, I smoke weed. Whoop-de-doo, it's a federal crime. Weed's really not that bad. Just don't over-intoxicate yourself. It's the same with any other type of intoxicant. Don't over-intoxicate yourself. Don't drink and drive. Don't be intoxicated when you drive. I mean, there's so many things. Come on, people. Can't you just not smoke weed and drive? Because I've been in cars with people who've smoked weed and started to drive. And, no way. No way. Drunk driving, all that. Even just being, how do you put it, hungover, you just shouldn't be driving sometimes. Just stay home. I don't know. It's just really complicated. I don't get this. I don't like getting into cars with people who are intoxicated. And yeah, I can say I definitely know why. It's like, where is the common sense? Why am I getting into these cars? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I just, all right, sure, I'll go, and then it's like, that's exactly what happens. And it's like, no, don't. You go to a wild party, you're a virgin, they might roofie you, they might completely do all kinds of things to you. Don't lay on the bed, that's for sure. Do not lay on the bed. You could get raped. It happens. And it's like, maybe this party lifestyle is really just bad. And people getting touched up on, when you're dating people, don't get so close that you start turning each other on. If you're a Christian or whatever, you're not ready, just don't get too physically close, because guys go nuts. They do. If you want to preserve your virginity and whatever, don't get physically close. It's dangerous. Making out, whatever. They get excited, okay? They want it. And they're more sensitive than you are probably to being touched like that. Because, there's that comment, well, my reproductive organs are on the outside, yours are on the inside. Yeah, his are on the outside. And it's extremely sensitive. And she's touching me. So, yeah, there's just a lot of issues. We got issues with, if you're going to go out and have a party, be ethical about it. Be responsible and protect yourself. Because, we've talked about having these coasters. That was a few years ago to test out your drink for drugs, all that. It's like, there's a problem with society, and I'm just like, ugh. As if a lot of us haven't drunk a beer or something and gotten intoxicated under the age of 18, or let alone 21, smoking cigarettes in middle school, all that, I'm just like, popping my neck here. Oh, God, it's so bad. If I didn't have scoliosis, I'd have got my GED and gone into the military, but Scoliosis can stop you from a lot of things. Can't even get a job where I lift, even though that's one of the things I'm more mentally capable of. I can't lift over 25 pounds. Sometimes I go out and get a job where I have to lift over 25 pounds anyways and say, that's on me, as if I could see them. That's another thing. You're going to be stupid at work, that's on you. You messing around with a forklift, oh no, the company has to pay for it. No, you should be held responsible, because in the training video, they told you, do not play with the forklift, no matter how good you think you are. So, it's just lots of things, people. There's lots of things. And, why can't I keep a job when I work so hard? I've had several situations with work where I just like to keep my job. And I go in, every time I go into work, I'm immediately pursuing a promotion from day one. And, yeah, I screw up. I have mental health problems, and sometimes I think everybody's going to die. And, my sister, when we had the Tacoma Mall shooting, got on the intercom, and the way she is, she panicked, and everybody just ran out in an unorderly fashion. But, oh, dear Lord, come on now. It's just, all these school shootings and so on and so forth. It's just ridiculous. What is wrong with our kids? They're bullying each other until they shoot each other. And then some of them are just had it with life, and all this talk about suicide and people telling them, just go kill yourself. I mean, you can brainwash people into thinking that's okay. This assisted suicide thing, who has assisted suicide? Oregon. Who has the worst, one of the worst psychology programs in the United States? Oregon. They really want people to just go out and kill themselves because they didn't do a damn thing with their life. And, this is just really frustrating. And I'm just one heck of a backslidden Christian. I experiment with everything. But the thing is I like to be open-minded, and I don't believe that you should not have freedom of religion. But as long as you're practicing within legal standards, you're not killing anybody, you're not hurting people physically, that's fine. But when you hurt people till they can't even function, you're hurting the whole country. Personal success of you does not override the success of another. And that's pretty sure there's something in the Constitution that I could find to say, you don't have a right to do that. You're threatening them in moral problems and freedoms and all kinds of stuff. So it's don't let your kids go to school and say, oh, you're ugly. Oh, you're dumb. No matter what you do, they have a right to their education. It's out there. It's supposed to be there. Do not discriminate. Do not be prejudiced just because somebody doesn't look like you. Whether you're ugly or you're pretty, it doesn't matter. You're just sitting there making more idiots in the world that you can't stand. And you're sponsoring that by chasing them out of school. So don't do that, because nobody likes idiots, okay? Even idiots don't like other idiots. And it's just oh, yeah, nobody likes idiots, So let's just stop making everybody idiots based on some kind of discriminatory patterns, because I have a sister who has a learning disability because her umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck when she was born, and her face, she came out blue. And Christina, I'm going to have to shout out to you and say you're probably smarter than a lot of the people who are out there. You're very intelligent, you're very kind, you're very sweet, you're very social. You're amazing, you brighten up people's day, and I know you got an attitude. But Christina, I really do love you, and you're amazing. And I don't think people know how quietly I appreciate you. Thank you. But it's so frustrating. It's come on, just have some sense. And this communism thing is coming. I'm getting tired of this. China's already on the move, and it's well, what's causing them to be on the move? Why is Russia flying outside of Alaska? Geez, there's so much stuff going on, and it's feeling too late, to be honest. Because, all this stuff, this anti-American stuff is so happening. Right here in our country, around the world, everybody hates us. Why? Just, we hate other people, they hate us. Hate is a very human thing. But just because you don't like something and it makes you hate it, doesn't mean that you should continue to be the source of more hatred. And it's ridiculous. I hate the word retarded. I really do, and now I use it. It's another thing about common vocabulary is we get brainwashed into using uhs, and whatever. Because we hate it. And then some of us, they start, bringing it in on you. It's whatever, I give up. Whatever, I give up. Whatever, okay? I gave up. But then I come out and I try again. And I try and I try and I try and I never do anything. So now I'm trying to do something, and I'm doing it very half and half, but it's just, I've been setting this up for years when I felt like it, and I'm doing it now because I feel like it. You know, I'm just so sick of it. It shouldn't be just because I feel like it now. I should have been doing things that I had the capacity to do without discrimination, without prejudice, because prejudice isn't just about African Americans. It's about a superiority complex. No matter what you look like or who you are, people are prejudiced against me. I have had people be prejudiced against me my whole life. And being raised in the household I was raised in, like, I can't even wear certain clothes. Oh, you don't have the right complexion for that. I get tired of that. I am a Republican. I was raised Republican. And I am also independent. And I'm going to have to say, this is a new generation. We can do things differently. We have been doing things differently. And, like, it's just ridiculous. And all the stuff with Vietnam and other things like World War I, World War II. Now that Russia's involved, it's going to be World War III. And the war in Iraq, yeah, we needed to do that. They attacked us. And, this is just ridiculous. What is wrong with you? There's a sticker on a pole that I walk past all the time. It says socialism before nationalism. What is wrong with you all? I mean, we don't even work as many hours as they do in Asia. Singapore, Japan, Korea, they have intense hours of labor. They have intense hours of school. They are overlearning past us. And the highest rates of suicide in South Korea are due to the education system. And you want to say, well, go ahead and let them be lazy. I'm going to say there are other things to do. I'm not supporting the suicides, but there's a medium that they should pursue over there. And now I'm saying one thing, I'm saying the other, but it's just confusing. I still have to weigh the odds and the outcomes. We all do that. And I'm sitting here with my thinking process right in front of you. And, also, by the way, I had a roommate who started harassing me. Cops wouldn't do anything. They said, well, go ahead and take it to the court. I don't have any money to take it to the court. You tell me to go get a judge and press charges. I have videos of him doing stuff to me, trying to catch him. The most I ever got was his gray sweatpants when I was walking into my room. And he opened up the door to bang onto my door from a cabinet. And he did that so many times. I would go and I would close it. He'd walk out and do it again. He's right across the hall from me. My landlord kicked me out because I kept complaining about being harassed. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't get it. It really got my goat, and it made me mentally unstable. Because of my borderline personality disorder, I had splits, which made me look like I had schizophrenia for a long time. And now that I'm in therapy for borderline personality disorder, I don't have much of that going on as I do now. It's somewhere between the medications that they put me on, causing me to start developing schizophrenia. And also, I went from bipolar type 2, bipolar type 1, schizoaffected, schizophrenia, all that. And then schizoaffected again. I've been through so many diagnoses over the last 5 years. And finally I spoke out enough that it's like, oh, yeah, you have borderline personality disorder. It looks a lot like bipolar disorder. They're very similar. And they have the same acronym. And your mom gets to say what happens to you in 8th grade when that's also the age that is too young to morally diagnose an individual with anything with mental health. But anyways, whatever. It's not whatever. Let's do something. I'm tired of this. I'm really tired of social issues. You all need a conscience. You need to behave with moral behavior. And I mean, our whole moral system in this country, even atheists sit there supporting the 10 Commandments as they're written on the first page. But, I'm sitting here like, it's so irritating. Can't you all just do the right thing? There's a reason these things are considered the most moral, upright thing. Because if we were living in anarchy, I mean, like finding a mate, what happens? Oh, you go feel them up and you rape them. You really don't want that, do you? Because it's not right to women. But yeah, that's what happens out in the wild with anarchy. You get raped. Anyways, yeah, just be moral. We're trying to socially evolve. And these are all issues that we are capable of overcoming because we've come really far as a race. And not just a race, but it's the wrong word. Humankind, humanity, whatever. I'm just sick of the issues. I'm sick of it. Just be nice. please just be moral, be nice. Thank you.